Hi everyone, Brandon here with Galloway Precision. Today we're going to go over the installation of the Aegis for the LC9s, EC9s series of pistols. This is our short stroke trigger for the EC9, LC9s series. And we're going to go a little more in depth than we did with the last video because apparently there was a lot of confusion since our mag disconnect was missing. We went out and bought a whole new pistol in a lovely Tiffany blue to redo the video. So, tools you're going to need your bench block, you need a 1/8 inch punch, you're going to need a 1/16 inch punch, small pair of hemos or needle nose to make inserting the pin easier, and you're going to need your brass and polymer hammer. Alright, first things first, let's lock and clear. We're visually and physically empty, so we're going to drop the mag. We're going to go ahead and push our takedown down. Take your 1/16, push out your takedown pin. Oh, that's right. We need you'll need this too. Put your fake mag in so you can get the slide off, but after this, that's not going to be a problem anymore. I'm going to set the slide off to the side, take our fake mag out, set it off to the side, flip your bench block upside down to the flat, knock out our frame pins with our 1/8 inch punch. Alright, we're going to go ahead and actually, before we do that, we're going to make our lives easier. So the safety is going to have to come out of the stock trigger to be able to drive out the through pin that goes through the pivot, trigger return spring, and the trigger itself. This is easier to do while everything's in the frame and you're not trying to hold it. So line up over the hole, and doesn't matter which side you drive the safety blade pin from. You'll take your 1/16, drive it out, go ahead and drop your blade and spring out. You'll pull them out like that. We'll set them over here. Let's go ahead and get our Aegis and new pin ready. And we'll take our stock trigger parts, put them in our goodie bag. Why do we keep them in our goodie bag, boys and girls? In case you ever need to send it in for warranty work, it needs to be in its stock configuration. Alright, so we've driven out the frame pins, we've driven out our safety blade pin, we're ready to go ahead and pull the whole chassis up. This has a tendency to pop out if you set it down too hard, so remember the orientation of the safety spring and the safety, because you may have to put it back in, but very gently you'll take your takedown plate and we're just going to set it over like this. Alright, because now we're going to remove our trigger bar. We've already got our safety removed, so we can take our 1/16, push out our through pin. We can put that in our bag of goodies. We can press out the pivot and the trigger return spring, and now the trigger itself is ready to come out along with the magazine disconnect. This has to come out for the Aegis to work. If you want to keep this, don't buy the trigger, because you have to take this out to make it work. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we're going to stick that in our little bag, our stock trigger in there, and take our Aegis. Go ahead and set it up on in there, and take our pivot, put our pivot in. We're going to take our trigger return spring, and we're going to make sure that the arm is facing at about the 3 to 4 o'clock position. This is where I like to set it down. And I'll take my hemos or my tiny, my small needle nose. Excuse me, having my coffee still. Alright, and then we're going to take and line everything up. Get our pin started, push it on home. Push in on the safety blade to make sure we get proper movement, trigger springs in there. Alright, so we're ready to take our, first take a little oil, little Earl. Take a little Earl. Earl it a little bit. Go ahead and put it on. You're going to wind your trigger return spring to the rear. There's a groove to set it in the trigger bar. I'm going to flip it. I can already hear half of you out there. You gotta slow down. Dude, I'm literally going as slow as I can on this installation. It's just this simple. If you do have issues while you're doing this and do need to slow it down, remember there is a slow-mo bar underneath this video in the options bar, so you can slow down the video. All right, so everything's put back together. Remember, if your safety and spring popped out, that's the orientation you need. So we're going to go ahead and reinsert our chassis. Before we get our chassis all the way down, we'll put our takedown plate in. Squeeze it all in there. Going to line up and use our polymer hammer to put our frame pins back in. Alright, you'll push your takedown lever down. Put our slide back on. We got the recoil springs ready for this thing too. We're going to be bringing back the guide rod, but we're going to do it similar to the stock guide rod, and it'll be a 2-springer because there's been enough demand that we're going to bring it back. So now we're going to go ahead and do our functions check. So we've got it up. We're going to rack the side. We're going to put the safety on. Pull on the trigger without depressing the blade. Nothing. Depress the blade. Nothing. We're going to take safety off. Pull the trigger to the rear. Striker falls. We're going to rack it. We're going to release. Reset. Boom. And that's it, guys. Your Aegis is installed. Your EC9s, LC9s is ready. And that's it. You have finished the installation of the Aegis trigger. So, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me at tech. That's Tango Echo Charlie Hotel. Ooh, hold on. I don't have them out here. But yeah, it'll be what we're going to be doing. I got ahead of myself. I wanted to show you the springs we got made, but I don't have them out here by the bench. They're already put up. But we will be doing a guide rod just like this one, okay, with some different rates. I'm not quite sure what they are yet. I got to reread the box, but the Aegis will be going back in stock here shortly, and this will be following in the next couple of weeks, so that those of you that are still having recoil issues or not returning the battery because the springs seem to wear out very quickly, or they're just soft from the factory. So we got ISMI to make the different rate springs for us so that we know we'll be good to go right off the bat. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So be sure to follow us on social media here on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe below. Go down to the description for all the other social media links for Firearms Friendly, Full 30, Gunstreamer, Facebook, Instagram, and Vimeo. And honestly, I'll probably be dumping the Full 30 and Gunstreamer links just because you guys really come here. Instagram, Firearms Friendly, and Facebook. So, but we'll put all the links down there. That way you guys can check us out on everything if you want. And as always, be safe, be accurate, and God bless.